Yeah, I can. Hang on, I'll message you. Hey guys, how you doing? Hi. We've just got to sort something out. We've got M series on the show today. And we're just trying to set it up so that we can all hear each other. So let me just get him on quickly so we can say hello. Let's see if we can hear you now. Hello, darling. I'm good. Can everyone hear M series? They should be able to. They said no. Oh, okay, that's strange. Did you hear the? Did everyone hear the title music just then? You didn't hear any title music. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That was silent as well. Okay, I think I know what it is then. How long have I been doing that for then? How long have I been doing the show? And you guys should have been listening to fucking title music. Oh my fucking god. Oh, mate. Well, I'm glad that this has happened now because that means that I can rectify the situation. So, Well, that's weird because you guys could hear the tunes, but you couldn't hear. Ah, okay. So it's just something that only happened this time then. Okay. So I'm just going to try again and just see if you guys can hear it. Hear this now. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, you can hear me twice. You can hear it twice. Oh, M series can hear it twice. Martin can hear it. Can everyone else hear it twice? I've turned it off then, by the way. Once for everyone else. And are you getting it doubling up, Martin? Okay, so that means that you need to turn off your sound for Twitch. So mute Twitch. Okay, now try this. Is that... Yay! Look at this. This is what happens, right? When you're a geek, you can troubleshoot. I love troubleshooting. Can people hear... Can everyone hear Martin? Speak. Do some more speaking. Oh, you can't hear Martin. Okay. We can't hear Martin. Okay, that's okay. I can just set up an audio input. So I wouldn't have been able to do this without you guys helping anyway. So audio output capture. Add source. I wonder if I can put you through a second. I'm going to try this. Can just speak again.
Hello.
So can people hear Martin there?
Yes, here we go.
There you go. We did it, guys. So it sounds good. Okay, that's fine then. So it's... Okay, so and everyone can hear this. Everyone can hear that okay? Yes, we are cooking with gas today. Right then. Okay, I'm just going to... What am I going to do with the chat box here? Because I want everyone to see this chat box when it goes back onto YouTube. I'm just move this chat box over here and over... There we go. There we go. Okay, so hi everybody. That can go away now. I was going to start messing around with Zoom and everything then, but I knew not to. I knew that there'd be a simpler way to get around this. I'm so glad that we've been able to do it. So yeah, guys, welcome. This is M Series. M Series is a very, very, very good producer. You would have heard a lot of his stuff on the show quite a few times. He's very modest as well. Hello, Bosky. So yeah, I have got Martin on today to help me with giving you guys some extra good feedback. So what we're looking to do is I'll just turn off Facebook. I don't want that on. We're looking to get you another perspective, because the thing is, what's happening now is the caliber of you guys has been so high that it's stuff that I can't really help you get to the next level with right now, because I'm still learning myself. So what we're going to be doing today is getting Martin to have a listen to your things as well. So I'm just hide these so I can see everything. Right. Okay, cool. So, shall I do my shitty YouTube intro that I never actually use?
Yeah, don't mess up.
I won't. I promise. Okay, ready? Hi guys, this is Amber D and you are watching the demo drop here on YouTube. Well, it was on Twitch first, but now it's on YouTube. So if you want to watch it live, then make sure you are on Twitch on a Tuesday, 8 p.m. UK time, where you can get your music heard. So if you are a budding producer or an established one and you'd like to get people to listen to your music, then all you need to do is send in your track to amberdpromo@gmail.com. Make sure you head your email demo drop and any files that you send. WAVs, MP3s are fine. I prefer MP3s, but send a WAV if you want. It's a whole other thing. But make sure you label it artist and the title, because you wouldn't believe it, but you do get sent a lot of tunes which are just called this one, final, the end, final, version 2, etc. And it's very difficult to ascertain who's done what. So without further ado, let's get on with the very first tune. So yeah, Martin's going to help me to talk about these, and then in between we're also going to be talking about Martin's processes, the way that he does things, what's his favourite DAW, how he likes to work, and you know, if you guys have got any questions for Martin, get them in the chat, because this is your opportunity to ask very important questions to somebody who knows what they're doing, and quite frankly we need it round here. Right then. Okay, let's go. This first one, this is Mark Ross, Show Me Some. Can't you hear anything? Okay, I think what the issue is Martin, you just make sure that you mute your microphone when we do this. So I'm going to try it again, and just tell me if you guys can hear it now. Yeah. I really like that. I especially appreciated the acid line in that. What about you, Martin?
Am I back on? Can you hear me now? Okay,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Really liked it. It's a few things I'd, if it was me making it, but it wasn't. So I'll be feedback to much. A few things I changed, but yeah, really good idea. It's refreshing not to hear the always a hard house sort of stuff, isn't it? But really, really good. Yeah, like that track.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to put that again into a kind of a genre, which I quite like of Mark Ross's stuff. It's very unique and authentic without being too out of place in many a set. You could probably play that in a warm up set, or you could even play that in a techno set, in the right setting. So what are the things that you would have changed? Because you said there that there would be a couple of things you would have changed.
Right. And it's all if it was the track in front of me and someone gave it to me, I think the kick could be, it's a clean kick. It's a really nice clean kick. You either need to change the volume up ever so slightly just to give it a bit more punch, or look at changing the kick for a thicker kick.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's not a slow track, but there's not a lot to that track. So you need something to really stand out. And I think the kick is probably one of the ones that could stand out. There's like a lead. I don't know if you can play it again, Amber, but there's like a lead in the breakdown. Not the acid lead. There's another lead. Get on that.
Get in the club, get fucked up. See me, you got get up. Someone to touch and rub up. Show me
that one.
Yeah, so that lead there, I think just make it thicker. I think overall, thick is the word.
Yes.
Thick is the word for this track. Someone's commented the vocals are a bit loud. I think just the way because it's part of that's like from a Basement Jaxx remix of a Missy Elliott track. But I think it's the way they recorded when they did a hip hop track. It's really pan far left, pan far right. But the little vocal choppy stabs, some are quite low in the mix. So I think you probably want to bring them up and bring them down just to even them out.
Yeah, so a bit limiting then with the vocals.
I think so.
Yeah.
A bit limiting with the vocals that are quieter. And you can see that through the audio form when you've got it. You can see what allowed and what thing. What if you could call it a mistake, what some people do is they get an a cappella, bang it on the track, and that's it.
Yeah.
They won't compensate for the original quietness in the original track where it's come from into the new track they're trying to do.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that's a good point because the thing is with vocals is we have dynamics, because we naturally speak quieter and louder all the time. So a bit of limiting or even like going in and manually automating the volume on those quieter bits before then going in and compressing will make a lot of difference to the overall sound. And that's really where like a lot of the stuff these days sounds so upfront and so clean. Even you can hear the little breaths, the intakes of breaths and all that kind of thing. But I think that's really good advice there. So yeah, cool. Okay.
So overall like it. Yeah, good track.
Yeah, I like it. I think, and I know that this isn't something that he does as a full-time job or anything. He just does it for fun, and apparently he's got loads of them. So I just wish I could do this kind of stuff and just be free enough to just get it out there. I'm so shy with my own stuff. I really am. But yeah, that's something I have to work on. So the next one that we've got next is Due, and this is called Something. And this is a work in progress. So let's have a listen to this. Do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the names up on the side, haven't I? I'll do it for the next one. Sorry, Mark. Right then, let's get to the next one. It's really weird now with SoundCloud because it won't let me open two instances of SoundCloud and let me play them at the same time. So, one sec. So yeah, that was a work in progress. So I wanted that to carry on. I really did. I really enjoyed listening to that. Dewey's actually in the chat now as well. So hello to you, darling. I really enjoyed listening to it. It sounded to me, before I pass on over to Martin, it sounded to me like it might have been mixed down slightly too loud. Like it sounded like it was maybe clipping. I'm just going. It might just be me though. It might just be me, but I really, really liked it. I mean, I can't tell because it's a SoundCloud file, so I can't look at the waveform and see what it looks like. But clipping, K&B, good question. Clipping means can mean distortion, but it can mean that if you set, so like when you're limiting something, when it's clipping, it kind of chops off the tops of the loudness and squashes it back down again. So you get like this kind of compressed sound to it, which can be intentional sometimes, but too much of it loses dynamics. Martin, would you agree with that?
Yeah, you're just pushing it too hard. You're just pushing everything too hard. We can get into that later on if you want when we talk a bit about.
I'd love to actually.
Yeah,
I'd love to because we're covering gain staging at the moment in uni, and it's completely revolutionised everything that I know about mixing down and getting everything to sound right in the mix. So guys, please stay around for that because we're all going to be taking notes on that one. But yeah, as far as musicality is concerned and arrangement, beautiful sounds. You've chosen the right sounds for this genre. The vocal is amazing. I don't know where the vocal's from. I don't know if it's you or whatever, but I love that. I think it all sounds very much like you should be doing this. What about you, Martin?
Loved it. Really, really like that. I think the vocal, I think someone said the vocal were overpowering. I'm not sure I'd agree. I think it's a work in progress, so it's not even a finished track by the sounds of it. I think the only thing I would feedback on is the kick. You could bring it down ever such a touch in volume. I think it's very poppy, the kick. And I think just try another kick, try something a little bit more thicker because the bass is quite subtle, it's quite uplifting. I really love, it'd be interesting to know if this is a MIDI he's found or done that himself, but almost at the end of the bar, when you've got that uplifting chords, it's the stuff that I love, that real smile on your face. It's a really feel-good track. So either the kick in volume a little bit or just get a kick with a little bit more weight to it and mix that in. Winner all day long. I'd have all that all day long. Even for Kamara, I'd have that all day long. So.
Oh really? Oh, there you go. Yeah, let me explain this as well to everyone. M Series has his own record label as well, Kimara Records. So if you impress him, you could get on his record label. So there you go. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great tune. It really is. What was I going to say? Yeah, about what you said about the changing a kick. It's really, really helpful, I find, to render everything down. So say like I've a big folder of work in progresses of the same track. So, for example, you could find another kick for this track and then render it down and then just A/B it really quickly and just see which one you think is fitting better. Because sometimes we need to have a bit of reference in order to know whether something's working better or worse. And I find that by A/Bing things, I do it with selfies. Like, for those of you who don't know, I do toilet selfies because I'm very strange. And they bring awareness to IBS and people Crohn's disease and stuff. And I did start it just to be a bit silly, really. But what I tend to do when I take selfies, because I don't look like this in the morning, trust me. I'll have a look at one photo. I mean, I'll take like 10. And then out of those, I'll look at one and then I'll look at the next one. And then I'll make a decision. Do I like that one better than that one? And then out of those two, I'll get rid of one. And then I'll keep doing that all the way through. And I think you could similarly do that with any changes that you make to a sound, a lead sound, a kick. It could be anything. If you just A/B it against each other, then at least you know where you're going. and in which direction you're going. So KMB says, I love your toilet selfies. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. But yes, getting back to your song, I think it's a marvellous song and you should be very proud of yourself.
I agree.
Yes. There we go. Round of applause there. And I forgot to put the fucking name again. Let me just do it now. Because I'm not doing my job very well today, am I? Thankfully, I can't get sacked. Right. Ta-da! And we'll just play it longer. Yeah, that is going to be so good when it's done. It really is. Really is. Thank you so much for sending it in, darling. Okay, next we've got Catchy. And this is Take It Off. Now, this is a sample of it. But eventually, Catchy has told me that this is going to be going out as a free download. So I'll let you know when that is the case. I'll just take these off. Okay, so this is Catchy. I'll find it.
When the dark of the night comes around, that's the time that the animal comes alive, looking for something wild. And now we're looking like pimps in my gold Trans Am. Got a water bottle full of whiskey in my handbag. Got my drunk text on, I'll regret it in the moment. But tonight I don't give a, I don't give a, I don't give a. There's a place downtown where the freaks all come around. It's a hole in the wall, it's a dirty freak for all. And they turn me on, and they take it off, and they take it off, and everybody take it off. There's a place I know if you're looking for a show where they go hardcore and there's glitter on the floor. And they turn me on, and they take it off, and they take it off, everybody take it off.
I was getting very, very excited there. That was going into the next tune a bit prematurely. Yeah, I really, really like that. I thought that was fantastic. When you listen to the mixes in your cans headphones, do you recommend listening loud or turn down quiet? That's a good question. I'll answer it and then I'll let Martin answer it and then we'll talk about this track. It depends what you're doing. If you're making a tune, you should probably listen to it lower in volume because then you can hear more things. You can hear all the transients and that kind of stuff. When you're DJing, you should still do that anyway. A good example was when I did my 48-hour live stream where I DJ'd solidly 48 hours. When I came away from doing that, I didn't even have any tinnitus. I mean, I have tinnitus a bit all the time anyway, but I didn't have any of the oral hallucinations that you usually get when you mix for a long amount of time. And that was because I had the volume in the studio at literally a whisper. You could talk over it at this level and you could hear yourselves completely. So what would you say, Martin?
Yeah, I agree with that. It sounds a bit of an obvious answer really, but when you're mixing, which is the most crucial part of the thing, because once you've got to get the mixing right, otherwise you're trying to polish a turd after in the nicest way.
He's meaning production mixing here, aren't you?
Yeah, production mixing. Yeah, not DJ mixing. Yeah. Sorry. When you're mixing the track, yeah, you've got to have it loud. Is although it goes against everything we want to do as sort of DJs and producers and smash it out in the cans, but you've got to have it at a medium level. You've got to hear everything, otherwise things just, loud music just all sounds the same at certain decibels, doesn't it? So yeah, I would agree with everything you've said. Even mixing in headphones, is that the best thing to do? There's the discussion to close back and open back headphones. Is your room set up right? Are your monitors far away? It's, I think if you mix in headphones, and you've always mixed in headphones, and your tracks are of a level that you've got good feedback and they're getting signed, continue to do it. If it's that I mix in headphones because I think it's the right thing to do, I'd probably question where you're going with that, really.
I completely agree. And I know someone who would also agree with you 100%, and that would be Guy, my other half, Guyver. He does a lot of his stuff in headphones and always has done. The only thing really that we have to think about when we're doing stuff in headphones is stereo separation. We're not really going to be able to hear stereo separation as much or too much because we've got one part of the music coming into our left ear and one coming into our right. And sometimes, when you've got your speakers in front of you, having the mix of the two and the sound waves coming at you in a slightly different way, it will probably affect the mix down and the stereo separation and the amount. But that you'll probably understand that the more that you render stuff and listen to it on different platforms and things. Would you agree with that, Martin?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Cool. Yay, get me knowing all the shit. Yes! I haven't wasted 8 years of my life for nothing anymore. It's all coming together, kids. It's all coming together. Oh, thank fuck. Right. Let's get back to this wonderful tune by Catchy, Take It Off. Now, I could just tell from what the people in the chat were saying, and when it was said, I understood that it was a Keisha tune. Keisha tune, is it?
Kesha, I think it's pronounced.
Yeah.
Cashew nut or whatever she's called. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the one who did that about being out all night drinking whiskey in the bar and stuff. Was it? This body night. Yeah. I mean, she's got a very distinctive voice. It was a very catchy tune. And I enjoyed it. I think I can never say no to these donk tracks with well-known vocals in them. I can't. I love them. I could just play them all day, and I do. It's my job. But yeah, I really like that. What about you, Martin? I've got nothing really more to add on that one because it's fine to me.
So my first question, and it's always struck me as this, and maybe you'll answer this, Amber, but why a free download? Why not finish the track and pitch it to a thing? Again, it's a question that only Catchy Is that the name of the artist, or is that just
Catchy's the name of the artist. Yeah,
it's not a statement for the track because it was a catchy track.
It was catchy, yeah.
Only probably they can answer this, but why a free download? Because it's either I don't think it's good enough to be signed anywhere, so I'm going to put it out as a free download to try and help myself, or he's given away the opportunity to try, him or her, to give away the opportunity to get it signed. So I don't know why it needs to be a free download. I don't know why it doesn't get finished if it needs to get finished, and just pitch it to someone. Because like you say, you'd play that all day long, Amber. I know you would.
Yeah. That's a good
point. The only thing I think I could add is just, where was the clap? I think it would go up an extra 5% if you put it doesn't have to be a strong clap, just put a clap in it. If there is one, it's very low in the mix. Very low in the mix.
1 second. I think there's a bit of a snare in there, but I don't think there's a clap. I would have liked to clap. I think the reason why with a lot of these tunes is the perception that it slows it down because it's on the 2 and the 4 in the bar, but it doesn't. I like a good clap. I'll admit I do like a good clap, but yeah, why haven't you got a clap in there, Catchy?
Sort your claps out, mate, and you'll.
Yeah,
but no,
your clap
good track.
out.
Everything that I think Bounce is about, it's a fun, bouncy kind of thing. It's just my feedback. I mean, I can see Dave Timothy. He's got his reasons for giving free downloads. I get it, but and maybe it's my naivety, but it only seems to be in this scene that there's more free downloads than any other scene. Now I don't know whether that's because it's got a certain vocal that he doesn't think they can get used on a thing. So I think if you also look at the Hard House world, ignore that because every track's got bloody vocals on it.
Yeah.
It's just a good track. I don't know why it needs to be a free download.
I think it's a mindset thing, isn't it? It's a poor mindset, but it is a mindset nonetheless. Like, I didn't even question that, but you're completely right. It's and Catchy, he's definitely giving you a compliment with that because
100%. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, Keisha is not like on a label that's out of the question of maybe wanting a Bounce remix. Bounce is coming back in a massive way as well, so it could be very possible that this could be taken on as an official remix without any doubt. So yeah, you should probably find out who is the record label for the original and give them a call. Not a call, don't do that. Oh, don't call them. Send them the track. Hello. It's me again. Don't do that. Don't do that, they'll block you. What you need to do is just tell them that you've done this. Show them this, don't show them this. I think we know someone who knows Keisha anyway, actually. So, and if we have ties, because they play some hard dance stuff. I think there's 2 of them. I'm pretty sure it is anyway. But, just try. And like Martin said, I think it would be silly not to, because you never know. You never know. Everything's changing now with the way that music's made and distributed and all the rest of it. So, and do you know what? Out of experience, when I have done compilation albums for certain labels which have gone out in HMV or blah blah blah, there's been a remix for an original that I've liked, for example, and because I wanted to put it on my mix that was going out and was going to be produced and have physical copies, they okayed the remixes that I liked because I was using them in this mix compilation. So it is always possible. So there you go. And the other thing as well, if that didn't work, then you can always swap out. And I said this in another show a while ago. The backing track without that vocal in is that strong that you could just fucking get yourself on Splice, find something that fits that chord progression quite easily. What do you reckon, Martin?
Yeah, either that, get a different vocal, or if you really want to be, because I've had this on. I try not to use so many existing vocals. I always try and get some new ones where I can. But just depending on what you made it on, I'm sure all the DAWs do it. But you can also pitch it down, give it that sort of, just pitch it down a semitone, but still within key. It will work. I think you just got to know how to do it. But then you get away from any sort of, it's definitely key. It might be a bit lower, a bit higher. Cut it up, rearrange the order of it. It doesn't have to be, because effectively that sounds again like the a cappella's in the nicest way, put on and work towards it. Change it around, change the order. Use snippets of it, use just the verse, but cut it up and have, especially with bounce, if you cut the vocals up when it kicks in, it's a bit skippy, it's a bit more fun. There's all sorts of tricks you can do.
Well, this is the whole way that Deep House was born, wasn't it? Through getting through the algorithms of places like SoundCloud by pitching down the vocals, and anything's possible. This is the great thing about creativity, is it always finds a way. It really does. It amazes me. But yeah, well done, mate.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. So we'll get to the next one. I've got a new mouse, everyone. Look, do you want to say hello? Look. Ooh, oh, look, where's he going? Whoa, easy boy. Look. Oh, there he is. Look at his little face. Meow. It's lovely, isn't it? It's got loads of knobbles on it and stuff, but I'm just getting used to it. So it's taken me a little while. Intergalactic mouse. This is my intergalactic mouse. Meow. But yeah, there you go. So next we have got Madder and Random But Raw, Love Me. Now this is coming out on Global Awakening Records, but you're going to love this one, guys. This is a really, really, really cool tune. I have listened to it very briefly. Oh, 1 second. Where is it? There it is.
put you first and you adored it. Set fires to my forest and you let it burn. Sang off key in my chorus, cause it wasn't yours. I saw the signs and I ignored it. Rose-colored glasses all distorted. Set fire to my purpose and I let it burn. You got off in the hurting when it wasn't yours. Yeah. We'd always go into it blindly. I needed to lose you to find me. Listening to us killing me softly. I needed to hate you to love me. I needed to hate you to love me. Love me, love me, love me, love me, love me,
yes. So that was Madder and Random But Raw, Love Me. Apparently, it is already at the number 1 spot on Toolbox. I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. I think it's great. I've done a track with Random But Raw. Excuse me. And I think the two of you together have really excelled yourselves. I think you brought out the best in each other. Someone also mentioned in the chat there about Madder choosing really good vocals. And I would, do you know what? There's been quite a spate of really good vocals, and I probably maybe because of Splice. The other one that I found that I really liked was M Series Anthem. The vocal in that, I fucking love that one. Absolutely love it. I don't know, Madder, if you can let us know in the chat where that vocal is from.
Amber, that is a vocal that's like a chart song.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. It's number 1 for a reason, and I don't. Rob's a great guy. He knows what he's doing all day long. Rob, absolutely. I'm sure Adam does as well. And a lot of the Rob stuff, especially when he does more collabs, are always a bit too heavy for me. I'm a bit girly when it comes to melodies.
Yeah, I am as
good.
well. So,
and,
yeah, definitely. I agree with where you're going with this.
So he's normally quite hard. That the kick, the bass, and the lead work so well, and it's one of them. The kick, when it kicks in, it pays off. But one of them are massive, and the vocal works well, but it's just a stickler for me. For it to go, it's number 1 on Toolbox, but it will never go number 1 anywhere else because of that vocal. You could have easily, again, this is a typical example of a track that is absolutely fantastic. But if you just spent an extra half a day looking for another vocal in that key that would equally work as well, that's royalty free, you've covered yourself, and you've got that peace of mind to go, no matter where it's played, Spotify, anywhere, I'm on fire and no one's going to question me. I think it'll always be held back, if you can call it that, by that. Although it works really well, and I'm not slating it at all, it's just don't always reach for them. I've looked on YouTube for chart acapellas and put it on there. There's better vocals that are royalty free that would equally work as good as that vocal in that track.
I just need to say this, actually, Martin. You are a breath of fresh air for this hard house scene. You really are, because you come from the tech house scene, and you've had a lot of success there, and you've wanted to move. Usually it's the other way around as well. Usually people start in hard house and then they go elsewhere. And I really hope that people take some notes of what you're saying there, because the only way for hard house to move forward, in entirety, is for them to be more original with the vocals and stuff, and these guys could be at the very, very starting point of that for hard house. I really do believe that. I mean, there is no excuses now. We have such good quality vocals that we can find on Splice. I mean, I say that, right, and Guy's still got like 80 credits on Splice that he's kept saying to me, just use those, Amber. Stop going through your like 500 terabytes of fucking acapellas that you've got.
Amber, I think I've got about 2,000 credits, so I can share the love with you as well, or whoever wants to. I can put together. I suppose it's not fair for me to put together a pack and send it, because you'd need to go on there. But there's loads of vocals on there. I think someone's put any tips for finding good vocals on Splice. Yeah, type in female vocals. Don't type in 145 BPM vocals or hard dance or hard trance, because you'll get the same stuff. Go for R&B. Go for the 90 BPM stuff. Go for hip hop vocals, because R&B is where it's at in my mind. Everything. I love that track, and I listened to it weirdly outside work this morning. I got there a bit early, and no word of lie, I put it on. I thought it's number 1 for a reason.
Yeah.
But just the hard house scene is vocals that are from every chart record that you've got, and I think it doesn't need to be like that anymore. With what's out there, it doesn't need to be like that anymore. And that would stand on its own without a vocal. They would still get to number 1 without a vocal, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's time for people to be brave with their productions now with hard house and bounce. Me included. I mean, the track that we did, Bright Lights, the vocal from that was a well-known track called Narcotic Thrust, or By Narcotic Thrust. And again, this is because I am of that era where I would just go through shitloads of a cappella archives that I've got. So, but the difference with me is I'm absolutely listening, you know, and I'm listening with clarity to what you're saying, because I do believe you're right. And we know so many people who could just do vocals. You know, people want to sing on tracks. You know, they're not like how it used to be years ago, where they start getting antsy and, you know, be shitty because you've used the vocals. And, you know, it's not the 90s anymore with things like that. People want to get involved and people want to collab with people. So thank you, Matt Baggy, for the 100 ambits. Let me just see who else I need to say thank you to. Hayes, thank you for following. Clipper, thank you for following. Solid Bra, thank you for the host. And Kilzaranoff, thank you as well. And Danny F, thank you for the bits. And Gaz Fullard, thank you for following. DJ Smarties, Futatutsu, Mixer Dave, Sarah Jones, thank you for the host. Adam, DJ Leather, thank you for the host. And Charnock, thank you for following. So yeah, guys, we can't really say much on this because it's already at number 1. Apart from that's a banger.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it is a banger.
Fucking brilliant. Okie dokie. Right, the next one. Okay, this is Photic Zone, Lab 4 and Transmortal Remix. So we already know this is going to be good, really, don't we? If it's got Lab 4 in it, it's going to be good. But Stephen, who's part of this, said that he wanted to get it on the show because even the big boys and girls want to have feedback from you guys. You know, everyone needs feedback at the end of the day. So let's get this one on. 1 second. Where are we? I need to start putting these in a playlist so I can get to them a bit easier. Right, here we go. Let's go. it's all right. That's fucking brilliant. Oh, well, I've been lucky enough to be in the studio with Les Lab 4, and there's nothing that guy doesn't know, and it's very true to the sound, isn't it, Martin? The Lab 4 sound.
Yeah, well, I think they'll do well, that Lab 4. I've heard that, they're quite good. So I think they'll do well in this sort of, hard house scene, really.
Oh, they've been around for ages. You won't.
Oh, no, I'm messing. I'm only messing. Yeah, I mean, one thing I've picked up on, the good thing, and this is to help anybody else, because they've got quite big sounds and twisted sounds and things. If you notice, the hi-hat isn't lost, and it's really minimal, but what they've done, they've got a hi-hat, like quite a weak hi-hat, but they've sort of layered in the middle, like a metallic, real faint metallic hi-hat on the offbeat as well, and that shines through. I don't know if you can hear that if you play it, but so it's not.
I'll play it again.
It's not the typical saber hi-hat that they've lobbed on it, or a ride. It's just a very subtle metallic.
That one.
Get it when it all fits in all together.
The that one. The sound. Like, it sounds like someone's unsheathing a sword sound.
Yeah, and all they've done is they put like a little metallic sound on either on top of the hi-hat or underneath it, just to that frequency to shine through against all them massive wide sounds. And if you didn't do that, the hi-hat would be lost in that line of synths, which is,
That's a really good tip, because it's layering sounds is just where it's at, really, isn't it? You don't have to have a wall of sound. You can just layer, like, for example, getting the click on your kicks. And like I've sometimes laid 3 kicks and had one just for the gated effect, so I completely take out the first section and just leave it for the gate afterwards, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then a mid one for the middle ranges, and then one for the click, and with a really, really short attack on it. But yeah, I mean, you've got clicks on the Nicky Romero kick plugin, for example, which you can use as well. But the point is, what that's doing is layering hi-hats as well, like the way that you've just said there. That's a really good technique. Something else that I'm going to try, I have started a project where I've tried to replicate one of my favourite tunes at the moment by I think it's Defective Audio. It's called Bill Durango or something like that. It's
yeah,
that one. I've been trying. That's my new reference track at the moment, and I have been trying to dissect it to get things to sound like it. And what I found works really well is to put a high tambourine sound over my kick, and that's worked really nicely, because it's got that kind of metallic, texturized high frequency that I've been after, and it seems to be working. So there you go.
There you go, rock and roll.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there isn't really anything we can say on advice, but I have lots of questions. But yeah, I mean, it's very true to the Lab 4 sound. The sound of the leads or the synths, there's a lot of movement. Now, this is something that I'm only just starting to learn about, with movement within a riff or a lead. So what I've been wanting to ask is, and you'll probably be able to answer this, Martin, is it using phasing and chorus to get that kind of movement? Is that a good idea? Yeah,
you can use again, I think every DAW is pretty similar, but loads of tricks for leads. One's for good leads, I think someone mentioned it last week when I tuned in, layerings, because we were talking about weak leads or something like that, I think. But layering's good. A good phaser on it, because that'll also, a lot of phasers will have an automation where, how much rate you want it to go. And naturally with the phasing thing, it's putting 2 signals in at once and just sort of, they're not lined up exactly right, so you're going to get that sort of stereo effect. Cool. Or just have the same channel, duplicate it, pan one to the right, pan one to the left, automate some EQ on it, on each one at different times.
Oh!
So you've got the same sound doing that. That'll work.
Right, I'm writing that one down right now.
You can have that one for free, baby.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually did something similar like that. At the moment, we're having to make a piece of music in the style of an old style of music. So mine is 90s acid house. And that's one thing that I've been doing today is working on a string, but I've cloned the strings and I've panned them left and right. So I'm also going to use that EQ trick on it as well, because that'll make it sound a bit more interesting. So yeah, thank you. But yeah, that was a great track, and thank you to Stephen, and hi Les if you're watching this. So next we have got another one from Bosky, lads. Bosky is an old favourite on this show. And he's only been doing it for about 6 months, Martin. He's been doing ever so well.
Yeah, I've heard his tracks on there. Most of them have got sexual samples in them, which is always good. So
I don't think they do. I'm really prudish when it comes to stuff like this, like sexy sounds and music. It's a bit like, no. But I've not noticed that. So I think it's just you lot with your bad, naughty heads.
Potty minds, yeah.
Potty minds. Right, then where is it? There we are. Okay, so this is Bosky and Breakdown. Just going to move it on a little bit because we've been talking loads. go. That's Bosky and the breakdown. I'm going to pass this over straight away to Martin because I think Martin's probably got a few things that will help you, first of all.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay, by the way? Am I still coming through? Yeah, cool. Okay, so again, my opinion, but I think a couple of people in the comments have agreed. I think the break's far too long. Easily sorted, you just make it shorter. I think you possibly need that when it first breaks down. And I know, Amber, you quite like the sound. I think, you know, the noises you were making in the nicest way were good noises. The first like sound on its own, that could be grittier. It was quite almost like filtered down, like it had a filter over it. You can, I think, I can't remember who it was. Someone said, I think it might have been Drake, but he was looking for I was expecting the kick in when it kicked in, but it didn't. It went into the actual main riff of it, so it threw me a bit. And then it was I think you just might find yourself a bit clock watching, like what's happening. And then if you do that, you're waiting more and more on the payoff, which then you're putting yourself more and more up against it because it's got to be fucking spot on for people to wait that long to start dancing again. Yeah. And yeah, clipping. I think Bosky has admitted that it was quite clipping. I think. I mean, you can see. I can
show you quickly on here, like you can see by the waveform, that it is really. There's hardly any headroom up here. I mean, you can see it in the breakdown, but that is definitely clipping without a doubt, which is good news because that is an easy fix.
I think that's what they call in the trade sausage to fuck, I think. So it would be interesting to know. I suppose he can answer this because I think he's in the chat. It'd be interesting to know why it's clipping, what he's done or thought he's done to get it that loud, so it's clipping that much. It'd be interesting to understand what his thought process is on. I mean, I can give advice how to make things not clip ever, but it's, you know, I suppose he sorted that apparently. Okay, so I should.
Yeah, he said earlier that he felt that the bass was too high. I think a lot of the time, excuse me, what happens is people rush things out and they stick a limiter on the master, and then they don't listen. That they are still in that process of listening with clarity to, is this better or is it just louder? And that can be a lot of the issue sometimes. I mean, I've got tunes from quite well-known artists, and I won't play a few of them because they've obviously just rushed it and limited it, maybe not even listened back to it. I'm not saying that you've done this, Bosky, but sometimes they don't listen through to it, and it's in certain areas, like when the crashes are hitting and it's on the drop or whatever, there is a moment of where it goes crunchy, where it's just actually digitally distorted. But he says he's aware of that, so that's and again, it's a learning process at the end of the day. All of this is, so I would agree as well with the breakdown. Now I put some notes. I've put the drop, like that was it. What was that thing from ages ago? Just made, we like long build-ups and disappointing drums. We like long build-ups. So it just reminded me of that. This isn't disappointing though, Bosky. Don't worry. Don't cry.
No, it's not. No.
It's really not. It's just it was a YouTube thing that it reminded me of. It sounded like there was two breakdowns. Like it sounded like you had the first one, like here. Like, this is fucking crazy good. Like, in my headphones, right, I don't know how that's going to translate onto a dance floor. It doesn't really matter too much because right now no one's on dance floors. I appreciate listening to this in my headphones because it was making me go, oh, mate. Like, all of this is great. It sounds amazing. So then when we get to this middle bit here, we're building up. Happen now. No. I thought what's gonna fucking happen now. Going, I wanna pow. We want to
tell you what you could do on that.
Face.
I'll tell you what you could do on that. Just before it kicks in, you'll have a break of 4 kicks. Yeah. What you could have done, had that build up, and then four kicks, not even a bar, but 4 kicks before it kicks in. Introduce that riff there. So and then straight in with the riff all the way through.
See, this is why you come here, Bosky, because you get really good advice. So that is a really good idea.
Because then it's a real contrast from what's coming, because you haven't introduced the main riff yet. It's a bit of a contrast, and then it's Jesus.
Yeah, I agree.
Well.
So then between like this section here where you go back into a kind of another pre-breakdown, this bit, take all this out and then make this bit pop, like when that comes in, do that ba 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 ba, and then it goes into that. So you can take out a whole section there. I mean, it's 8 minutes 24 long, so you can get rid of that extra bit of breakdown. I think that will make it, and I think at that point you don't need a vocal over this or anything. I think it sounds pretty good. I'd love to hear it when you have re-rendered it, either without this limiter on or with the changes that you've made to the kick and bass or whatever it was. So, anything else to add there, Martin?
No, I think it's got everything there that the track needs. I think it just. I mean, we can talk again if we've got time later. We can talk about. If any advice helps. I mean, I'm not number 1 in the charts yet, so take from it what you will. But I can give some hints on never ever clipping and all that sort of stuff. So
I think that we should do that right now.
Oh, okay.
I think we should. If you can do that for us right now, we'll do that now. Brilliant.
Okay, so what you need to do is you just need to make a track, send it to master and engineer, pay 400 quid, and it will never clip. Job done. No. So, how can I put it? Well, you talked about it. Gain staging is the key. So I'll just talk you through my process.
Yeah.
And again, this is only gonna help if people listen to my tracks and go, that sounds quite clear, that sounds good. If you listen to them and think he doesn't know what he's talking about, it's no better than mine, then don't take anything from it.
Oh, you definitely know what you're doing.
But when you look for samples, when you import a sample like a kick drum, and this will be applied to every single sample you import a kick drum, and you've got the channel. And a lot of the time they're mastered already. They're from whoever's done the professional sample pack, they've been compressed, sampled, mastered. And you'll see that. So when you play the track, it's not a coincidence. It's just peaking above 0 in your channel. It's there and everything like that. So what people tend to do, which I've noticed, is they'll put a compressor on it straight away. And the first question you'll ask on anything you ever do is why? Why? Because you pick that kick drum in your list to think, oh, that sounds really good, yet you want to change it.
Oh, yeah.
So once you've got a kick, I'm using a kick drum as an example. If you then put a compressor on it, even if you bring that channel down and you think, I've got 6 dB of headroom, and it's minus 6 dB, the master channel is minus 6, and you'll put a compressor on it, and it still sounds okay, I can promise you that is already squashed beyond its life, because the actual original signal is. There's no room for any compressor to work on the original signal because it's already at 0 dB.
It's already been normalised.
Already been done. So I use Ableton. So as a trick, anyone that uses Ableton, get a utility plugin, which is already built into Ableton, put it in there, click the mono button on it, because kick and bass normally, mono, some experimental people out there, but mono, knock it down by, let's go extreme, by minus 10 dB on the little dial, because you can always bring it back in with volume again. Then whatever chain you put on, you'll see, whereas normally you'd see this preset on the compressor just sat there and you think, oh, this sounds beefy and great. It's not. Once you minus 10 dB'd it and you've got rid of all the headroom and you've almost put it back minus 10 dB and you put effects on it, phases or delays or anything like that, it'll be a lot more better, to be honest with you. And also what you want to do is it's if you do that to all your sounds, all your bass sounds, same with a soft synth, if you've got silence and you put a sound in it, again, you might have the channel down halfway and it might have 8 dB of headroom on your mixer, your master's not clipping, and then you're always wondered and puzzled why, when you're putting a bass enhancer on it or a sound goodizer, whatever you want to put on it, If you actually go into the original synth where the sound's coming from and look at the bar, I guarantee it'll be clipping just in the red.
Yeah.
So you're adding more crap to the red.
To the red.
So it's much better to put a utility on all your sounds, so you've got loads more headroom on it.
Yeah, because what that's doing for anyone that's new to this, because this is something that I had no idea about. When people are talking about pre-fader, like what this basically means is the utility will be lowering the volume of the volume signal before any of the effects are then applied. So it gives you that headroom. Is that correct, Martin?
Correct, yeah. So all you're doing is knocking down the original input sound into anything that you put that sound into. So if you do that to all your sounds, you've got so much more headroom to play with, and you'll find that when you're putting a bass enhancer or you're EQing, you're actually making a difference to that sound with more headroom than you are. It's far better to mix all your track, so your final track, even if you have to crank your Scarlett or your sound card right up, it's always better to master your track, so all your mixing is done, I don't know, with 6 dB of headroom. Your masters at -6 dB. Export that once you finish your track. So don't ever master within the same, don't ever master within the same session that you've made the track in. Export the track once you've mixed it, re-import it. It'll re-import at -6 because that's what you exported it at. And it's far better to push the master with a compressor and a limiter than it is to just have everything at, on my mixer, everything's -1, limited to hell. And then wonder why when you put a compressor on it, then it starts to get loud, which is why you get that sausaging, because everything's pushed so high, it's just flat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's really good advice.
My advice.
I mean, people, those of you who are watching, or people who are watching who are also established producers, will have tiny things of that which they will be doing differently. But there is no getting around the physics of sound. That you're right, that if you are adding more to a sound on top of it, it is going to distort if your original source was already normalized at 0 dB. And do you know what? It's something that I have only just I mean, I've been producing for a long time, but it's not something that I really thought about. In terms of workflow, the reason why this is helpful is because on your mixer, whatever DAW you use, the mixers, if you weren't using this utility, for example, or using a pre-fader volume control on your sounds to get the signal down. I mean, at uni they're saying to do it around -16, but whatever it is for you personally. When you try to do the same thing but you're using the faders on the mixer, the way that the volume works isn't linear, is it? Do you know what I mean, Martin?
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you mean. Don't know what I've done there. 2 seconds. Sorry. Can you still see me?
I can see a bit of Ableton.
Oh no! Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Right.
How do I get out of that? 2 seconds.
Hang on, I might be able. No, it's all right. I can do it my end. You're still around. Did you want to show us something on Ableton? Is that why you've done it?
I was just going to try. Can you see my whole screen on Ableton, or just a snapshot of it?
I'll get everyone to see it. 1 second.
I just wanted to give you a visual of what. I mean, we've got to get through the track, so it will take 2 seconds. But
yeah,
but
this we can get. I've got all bloody night, so don't you worry about that. Okay, we can see the whole screen now.
Okay. Can everyone see my Ableton? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need sound for this, so if I go in and I type. I'll just give you an example of what I mean. So I'm going to put a BK kick in because that's the sort of guy that I am. 2 seconds. So this channel, if I press play, let's press play here. I've got to actually put it in the track, haven't I? That would help, wouldn't it? Let's have a look. So, you still see that okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to zoom in. Let's get into the channel. So here, you can see it's already sort of there's what 1.72 dB of headroom.
Okay.
So if I was to put a compressor on that now, let me just put a compressor on it. Plugins. So I'm looking at two screens. I'm not normally this slow, if I'm honest with you, so apologies. Let's have a look. So if I could put a compressor on that, I don't know if it'll show it.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah. There's not a lot of movement there. So if I put a preset, let's put a preset of pumping drums. You haven't really got a lot of movement there. But if I was then to put a utility on this, and this is where I hope it works and proves my point, audio effects. Let's just type in utility. So if I put a utility on that.
And that goes before any of your effects, doesn't it?
Before any of the effects.
Yeah.
I normally click mono. I normally put this down to, I don't know, minus 10 dB. And you can see the difference of that was sort of moving. I'll show you.
Yeah.
And then what you've got is, yes, it's quieter, but just turn the volume up, really. And I think it might be a little bit better if I just put in a normal compressor, and then we'll get on with the tracks, I promise you. Let's have a look. Audio effects. So we've got drive and delay, drive and colour. Let's try drum bus. Let's see if that works. Yeah, so bit too much. So the output volume here, there's nothing more to do. So the moment I start adding drive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already maxing the red. This is maxed. I can't go anywhere with it. So if you apply that to all your sounds, I'll just stop sharing now so you can see my face again. If you apply that to all your sounds, you'll be a lot better off.
Yeah.
A lot better off. I mean, Drake's put everything should be set to minus 12 on the dB meter. It's just what you're used to. I mean, I've never set mine to minus 12, and I think mine sounds okay. Some people might use minus 12, and you'll hear reviews that minus 6 is the best.
It depends, really. I mean, a lot of people in film are like minus 20 something because of the dynamics that they use within that style of writing, and film schools is there's a lot more quiet areas and stuff. But the point is, without bogging ourselves down with the numbers, the point is that is how you are able to have your cake and eat it with the sounds that you want to use. Because so many times before I've thought about using this process, I have taken stuff out, or fucking hell, the amount of times I've had a really good lead sound and then I've EQ'd and carved out areas of the body of it where and made the sound shit just so that I'm not clipping. And by doing this, using this technique of pre-fader utility, bringing down the volume level before you start using the effects, it's going to sort out a lot of those issues.
100%. And panning as well. Well, the only other thing I'd say is panning. The amount of tracks that I get set, because I do some sort of engineering stuff sometimes, mastering. Again, I'm no expert, but I get to a point where they like the product, which I think is the important thing. I try and that's what it's what makes someone good in the other person's eyes if they're doing what they want to do for them.
Yeah.
The amount of sort of stuff I get sent where everything's just straight down the middle. They've not panned a clap. They've not panned a hi-hat. They've not.
That's me.
You need everything. You need to use panning.
Do you know what? I completely
right
forgot about doing that. I don't know why I stopped doing it, but I remember years ago, a guy said to me that just a little bit, just not loads, not like properly like hard left and hard right, but just a little bit. But thank you for the reminder, because I'm going to make sure that I do that as well. But
just
thank you.
Pan into. I mean, I could talk all night. I know we haven't got all night, but there's really simple things. You don't have to know a lot about the inside out of the doors, and you don't need to know synthesis. I mean, I'm rubbish at that. I couldn't make a sound. I rely on a preset and then do my melodies from that. So I'm not great at that sort of stuff at all. But the general panning, not clouding your mix with everything, is invaluable. Well,
there was something that we got taught at uni the other day about seeing sound as being 3D. So you've got like height is volume, depth is like reverb, and what was the other one? Let me just find it now, because it really, really made a lot of sense to me. And basically the point of it is, by thinking of sound in these kind of easier, in these kind of ways, you'll learn how to shape your sounds, how to get the best from that space and that environment. Oh, I can't find it at the moment, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense at the end of the day, doesn't it?
It's however everything I do, I always ask why. If you've ripped a kick drum off a well-known hard house track because you like the sound of that kick drum, and you bring it into your track and you're putting a compressor, an EQ, a delay, a reverb and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ask yourself why in each time, because if it sounded okay on the track that you're nicking it from, effectively, why are you needing to then compress it? Now, the only way I can think of it is if you need to do that much work, there's something wrong with your mix down if it's not working in the track that you're doing, rather than I need to compress it because it's not getting through the mix enough, which is normally the reason. It's not giving me what I need. Yes. But it did when you heard it on the other track, and the original kick is still what you want. So just think about that. I mean, compression's there for good reason. It can, yes, it makes things louder, but effectively it's all the transients and, everything's glued together. It's, that's the difference between everything sounding like just loads of loops together and everything that gels and pumps, release time, attack time. But if you're putting loads of stuff on it, just everything you do, why am I doing that? If your lead sounds weak, why does my lead sound weak? Well, it's not thick enough. Why? Well, because it's only got one sound on it. Then you answer your own questions. That's the way I work. Anyway.
And again, what you said about compression, if you don't know what it's doing, don't have it in. If you're not sure what it's doing, don't have it on.
Yeah.
Is a really, because like compression is such a it's only just sinking into me now what compression is. And if you want to really do a good job, especially with vocals with compression, you want to be doing it in a very specific way. So you want one that's going to be doing like a fast release, and then one that's going to be doing a longer release. There's parallel compression, there's serial compression, and it's working out which of these is going to sound best. And then there's also having compression on the delays, on a side chains with the delays, so that you can. And this actually, could you just explain that for people, because that will really help people to get their vocal not to sound washed out.
What, on vocals?
Yeah, when you use a compression on the delay.
Yeah, you can. So there's loads of ways to do it. So what you can do is what I do, let's say what I do. I get a vocal, and I think, again, from my experience, the old classic phrase, you cannot polish a turd, is true with everything. If you've got a dodgy ripped a cappella or a dodgy ripped sound, no matter what you do to it, you're just enhancing the dodgy rippiness of it. There's a phrase of the day, dodgy rippiness of it. So you need to start with good quality sounds.
Yeah.
So a vocal, if it sounds good on its own and you just need to add some reverb, you can either set up a send channel and apply your reverb to that. That way you've got a bit more control, that you can dial it in however much you want. What I do is I get a vocal, and I'll put it's called CLA vocals, actually. I don't know if anyone's got this plugin, but I use CLA vocals. Or you can just get a normal reverb or a delay from Ableton or FL Studio.
Welcome for
FL Studio
yourself.
Or Cubase or anything like that, I apply it to the channel, but then I'll automate in between. It takes quite a long time sometimes. I'll automate when I want it to kick in. Just the on and off switch, really. So at the end of a word, I might have the compressor hitting hard, so it really kicks in. But then I'll put a Nicky Romero sidechain on it, and that'll duck the reverb. And I'll also put a sidechain on all of my vocals, which is not really the thing to do, because you want a vocal to be clear. So I put an ever so slight pump on the vocal, which doesn't make it as brash against the track. And hopefully, I'm using my hands a lot because that's sort of guy I am. But it almost just sort of ducks with the whole track. So there's loads of stuff to do. But again, if you find a good reverb and a good delay and there's a good preset on it and you think that sounds really good, just dial the wet dry down a little bit, put it behind it. Or, final thing I'll say, clean a cappella track, duplicate the a cappella track underneath it, whack the reverb as high as you can, really saturate it and bring that volume right down, put a reverb side chain on that, and that will just work behind the original vocal and give you that, thing that you're after.
Brilliant. And it's nice to have more than one way of polishing that turd.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true. These are the areas where once you've started to learn how to produce and you're getting a little bit somewhere, these are the starts of the areas where, by listening to Martin and what he's saying there, you'll get incrementally the next 1% better and the next 0.5% better. But it's those tiny percentages which make all of the difference when you add them up. And that is the difference between someone who's making something that's playable and someone who's making something that's like wowing people. So, but yeah, I agree with that.
So Matt Baggy's just put, doesn't compression on vocals just accentuate the quiet noises on the mouth makes between the solo notes? Well, yeah, again, if there's a lot of that in the original track, yeah, it probably could, but then just go in, cut that vocal bit out and bring the volume down or cut it out altogether. Mm-hmm. It's just trial and error, really. Whatever, again, it comes back to why are you putting the compressor on the vocal. I don't often put a compressor on my vocals because they're clean and loud enough as they are. I don't need to. I work how you build a track. I'll work my tracks around the vocals if I use vocals. But just, if something sounds odd, you've got to know why it sounds odd, and you've got to know what to do to sort it out. If you're on FL Studio and you put a sound goodizer on it and it makes your track sound fantastic, great. But you've got to know what's behind that sound goodizer to know what it's doing to your sounds. You can't, if you went to Ableton, there isn't a sound goodizer on that. So what are you going to do instead? You've got to know what that was doing to give you the same effect.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. And same with Sausage Fattener. It's even, I tell you now, a lot of the big boys use Sausage Fattener. There's nothing against it at all, but they use it on the very first notch. And really sparingly, but it is good to know what these things are doing. But that's why we're here, is to help. And YouTube is good as well. So, but yeah, thank you, darling. Thank you for clearing a few things up, because I've learned a lot from that. Okay, let's get back to the tracks we've got now. We've got Nicky Adams has done a remix of Guyver, Man on the Moon. So here we go. I actually got Guy to listen to it a bit earlier on. So when we've listened to it, I'll let you know in the on here, Nicky, what he said. So here we go. Let me just find it.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Yeah, I really like that. I have got what Guy has said to me. I got him to write it because I am really bad at remembering things that people say. So you'll only get half truths if I say it, and I'll say thingy a lot, basically. So I asked him to see the amount of times I say I piss myself off. Honestly, I really do. Okay, so I'm going to write this in the chat as well, so you got a record of it. But it will only let me do 500 words at the moment. But yeah, so here we go. So first of all, he said, love the direction of the remix. The only thing I would suggest to work on would be the breakdown. When the main riff comes in, it lacks a bit of oomph and impact. Then he goes on to say, there also needs to be some long effects to fill in the gaps between the riffs, punches. The main riff could do with a bit more low end, more low mid, which you could add with a second layer, and then that gives you the choice to balance the sound when everything kicks back in again. And then he finishes with main riff sounds used to take me the longest, but they are the pinnacle of the track, and putting the extra effort into them always pays off. Yeah, I mean, I could hear that. I think that you could definitely make more of that big riff sound and make it your own by learning a little bit of sound design when it comes to synthesis would be really, really helpful. I don't know what you've used there synth-wise, but the way that Guy gets his ripping sounds, for example, is by, for example, in Silence, you would assign pitch A, B to one of the envelopes and have very, very short, no attack, short, very, very short delay and a very, very short release on it and no sustain. And by doing that, you get that kind of a rip kind of effect through, so it doesn't sound as static at the beginning. So with the envelopes. So doing those kind of little things will make your sounds sound more Guyverish, if you will. I mean, it's not Guyver that made that up, but you know, it's definitely a Guyver-esque thing to do. But it's very simple in terms of doing that in a synth, and it would allow you then to have more control over that and be able to make that sound more authentic for you as well. So that is what I have got to add. What would you like to add, Martin?
Well, who better to give feedback than Guy himself, which he's obviously done. But I think the thing that stood out to me is where the riff was coming in incrementally in the breakdown, just very dry. Get some reverb on that, you know, some tail end reverb. It will give it a bit. Naturally, I think you'll get a lot of the results that Guy's talking about just by adding some effects on it. But where also that counter melody comes in, that do 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 do, it seems very dry, like literally do 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 do, like you literally played it in. If you shorten the notes, put a long reverb on it, you'll have a punchier do 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 rather than a do 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 do, and then the tail of the reverb should give you the effect you want again. But other than that,
that's a really quick fix as well. That
I thought the lead was the sound is. It sounded. I really like the sound of the synth. Yeah, really like that. So well done on that, because they're a nightmare. They're a nightmare to do.
It's something that I spoke about last week, I think, or the week before, about leads. I had it in my head that leads had to be high mids to high frequencies, and that was where I was going wrong with it. I'm actually getting tutoring from Adam Ellis, who's a very, very good trance producer, and one area where I was struggling with understanding how to layer my leads was because I had this belief system that they should just be higher, or like the plinky plonkies kind of frequency range, and really they need to stand out. They can be quite texturized and quite in your face if you want them to stand out, at least. So yeah, I think that's really good advice. So yeah, next one is this is Lozzie and Elliot Hills, and it's called Titanium.
You shut it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much. Criticize, but how your bullets ricochet. Shoot me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet. You take your aim. Far away, Ghost town, haunted love. Raise your voice. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Talking loud, not saying much. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, ricochet, you take your aim. Far away, you shoot me down, but I'm a bomb. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I'm a bomb. I am
So yeah, that was Lozzie and Elliot Hill's Titanium. The only thing that's standing out for me, which needs sorting out, is the vocal. The vocal seems to be oscillating, and what I presume this is going to be is whatever door you've made this in, you need to change the way that is being processed by your door. So for example, if this has been done in Ableton, you'd have like an audio warp. If you're doing it in FL, you would have stretch time or sample time, and there's a few of them, and sometimes it's just worth trying all of them out and seeing how that affects your sample. I think that you've had it on the wrong one because you can hear the oscillating on it, and I don't think that was probably from... It could have been from the vocal source, the a cappella, but it probably more than likely is because you've used the wrong kind of sampler type. What do you think, Martin?
Exactly that.
Cool.
It's exactly that. I don't think it's the rip, because I think there's some really good. I think there's actually probably the studio version of the a cappella. Mm-hmm. But Matt Baggies hit it on the head there with that comment.
Complex
in Ableton,
probe.
If it's made in Ableton, again, if you put in a vocal in, if you go into the settings, a lot of the time it automatically sets it to beats mode, mm-hmm. which the transients will be beats, which is what sounds like it's done if it's in Ableton. You need to change that to complex or complex pro for it to be smoother. And again, FL Studio, you would probably know better than me. I'm not familiar with that door. So
yeah, we have similar ones, and then in Logic as well, you also have.
Uses Logic apparently. Yeah.
Use it. Okay, in Logic, then we did this today in uni as well. Flex something or other, I think it is.
I think it's not my style, but I can appreciate it is for what it is. But I think this is a prime example of I've got an a cappella, I've put it on, I've pitched it to the right speed, tempoed it to the right speed, and that'll do, mm-hmm. rather than understanding how to get it done. So I think, 5-minute research on the internet or listening to what you're saying, job done. Yeah,
yeah, definitely. I think that will. It just grated on me that, and I'd still play it, but I probably wouldn't play it. I wouldn't be putting it on a compilation or something like that. Or if I had a mix that was being recorded, I probably wouldn't play it because of that. So it is worth sorting out. But the rest of it sounded amazing. It's a good bounce tune, obviously done by someone who knows what they're doing. So yeah, I enjoyed that one. So cool. So next up we're flying through these now. So next up there is Fallon and Lukey G, and this is called Not So Bad.
Bad. It reminds me, it reminds me,
Yeah, I think that, I mean, there needs a little bit of tying loose ends, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Excuse me. But there's some good elements to that. There really are. I think the transitions for the different sections to the arrangement could tie in a bit better with the use of a few more booms and rises. Arrangement wise, maybe a little bit of changing it up or editing slightly. What would you say, Martin?
I was just looking for the word, and you said it transitions exactly what I was thinking. So where obviously it breaks towards the end of the bar and comes in with them little stabby synths. Yeah, it's a bit cut and paste. Needs a bit more booms or effects or down risers or something like that. I mean, my main issue with that is where's the kick? And I know bounce kicks, there's a whole different conversation for bounce kick. Just a bit of a thuddier kick, maybe, would
I agree.
carry it, I think.
I agree. It felt like it was a bit thin on the bottom end. It really did.
Correct.
So.
But yeah, I like the pianos and the breakdown. They were well done. Someone commented on that. I thought they were quite good.
Say that again, sweetheart.
Sorry, yeah, I like the pianos in the breakdown. They were good.
Yes.
The synths were good. And someone asked about stereo. If you listen to them pianos and the effects when it kicks into the breakdown, that's a prime example of a stereo sound because it's behind you. It's either side rather than straight down the middle. So that's a good example of.
Is that what it means by mid-side?
Yeah, it's there rather than there. It's there. You can go extreme there, but it's just it. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a stereo
you
image.
can hear it more than describe it, can't you?
Right. Yeah, it's one of them things. Yeah.
Now, as we were on the subject there of pianos, I need to ask you because I've got you on here, and I shouldn't be doing this on air. I should have asked you this privately, so I'm the only one that knows. But I'm not like that. I'm a good person, and you're a good person, so you're going to tell us, Martin. How did you get your piano sounding so good?
Oh God. Why do you think they sound good? I suppose. Why question.
Okay, so there is that why question. There is a track that you sent in for one of the last demo drops, and it had pianos, and it was one of your slower ones, the housey ones. They sounded very clean. They sounded very prominent in the mix, and they cut through over the other things.
Okay. First of all, it's the piano sound you use. So people get them from different places. You can either use samples, which there's loads of good ones out there. I do my own. I use the Korg M1, which is a classic. You know, they're fairly cheap, the synth version anyway. I layer it, so I have like a low note, a mid and a high, just in a standard chord structure. I never use they come with a lot of built-in effects already applied on them. So I take them off.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll probably need the stereo thing on because they sound, why change it? It sounds good, but the reverb I take off because it's not great. And again, I just use a bit of stereo separation really, just instead of it bang on the line, I sometimes duplicate the channels and put them like that.
Right.
One 3 to the right, 3 to the left.
Yeah.
But I also, there's another trick, and again, this I probably need to do an Ableton tutorial thing on this. There's a little bit of a trick that you can assign a few plugins to give you that certain sound. But again, it's just, if you play the piano on its own, it sounds great. Where people struggle is it sounds great on its own, but when they put it in their mix, it doesn't. So if the piano sounds great on its own, just work your mix around the piano. So once you've got your mix up, bring everything down, bring your kick in, your bass in, get them leveled right, and then work on your piano and work everything else around it, and you'll be surprised how good you can get it, really.
Yeah, brilliant. That makes a lot of sense. I was going to ask you, going back to what you said about the M1 and layering it. Do you do that within it? So do you use that combi mode thing, or or do you just use three instances of it and clone it and then?
So I'll tell you what I use. I'm bringing up while I'm talking, so I don't. No, I don't. The answer to that is no, I don't. I'm giving away all my secrets now.
Yeah,
so
you don't have to say it.
No,
it's fine.
I will do because this will help people. And you know,
we really appreciate it.
Unless you've got my same mindset, you won't copy me anyway, which is fine. So if you bring in, I'm just looking on my screen over here I'll tell you the sounds I use and everything. If you've got a Korg, write this down or watch it back.
Do you use Dreams Piano?
I don't use Dreams Piano. I
do.
use, if you've got this, I got this for about 25 quid when it was on sale with all the sounds sort of expansion packs in it. So I think they're pretty standard. So if I go browser and I go piano, I use the Vel Grand.
The
piano.
what? The what?
The Vel Grand one.
Yep.
So I use the Vel Grand, and then what I do, if again, this is purely for Ableton users because I don't know how you do it in any other DAW. If you then go to MIDI effects in Ableton and you press and you go on chord, there'll be some presets of chord. This is just a starter. I'll do more than this, but there's like presets of chords. So if you drag into your channel the house to go setting, and then all you need to do is you need to go to your, still in MIDI effects, if you go to scale, and then you bring down minor, it'll just say minor. So drag that minor scale. So there's a preset of house to go chords and minor. Within that minor box, what you'll have is a little dial that says bass. So effectively what it's doing, it's getting the piano sound from Korg, whatever sound you want. It will work with any sound, but I'm just using it as a piano. It would, house to go, it's got some preset sort of keys and things built into the Ableton plugin. And then with the chord, you can literally just dial that dial to whatever key your track's in or bass line your track's in. So whatever note you press, it's like 4 keys each time you press it, and it'll work on that scale. So that's how you get that sort of house sound. I mean, I can share my sound with you quickly now, just quickly show you if you want me to. I won't share
Yeah,
Ableton.
definitely.
I can just share the sounds. Give me 2 seconds. I suppose I could share the screen because I've already set it up, so that might help actually. It might be good for you. And then I might need to nip off, but this is a good thing to end on if this helps.
No worries.
So let's have a look. So if I go, let's go. 2 seconds, hold the line, caller. And the chord. It's a scale I've got, should be a minor. There we go. So let me share screen, share sound, share screen.
Are you sharing the screen now?
I'm sharing my screen just so you can see.
I'll just make sure it's on. Transform, fit to screen. Oh, hang on. Reset. Transform. There we go.
So, can you hear that?
Yep.
Yep. So, That's without anything on it. So that's the piano I use, like a 6-year-old. So if I apply house to go, you'll see it's got these dials here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's each key. So that'll be a key, that'll be a key, that'll be a key. So
Yeah.
with that turned on, but that's no scale set to it. That's purely just them 3 chords. So if I then put minor and I go, I want to be in F, I just turn that to F, and you've got.
Wow.
So you've got. And straight away, you've got your sound there. So
Ooh.
if you want to take a snapshot of that chain, that's definitely worth doing it. But if you want that extra depth, you can always add another octave down here by going -24. Hang on, it's very small on my screen. And then you've got.
Ooh.
But whatever key your track's in, just change it. So if it's in C sharp.
That's crazy.
Worth knowing. There's a little trick for you guys.
Yay. Thank you so much, darling. That was
No
brilliant.
worries.
Yeah, did you want to get off then and I'll carry on?
I'll leave you to it. Thanks everyone for listening. I know I've waffled a bit, but hopefully.
No. Well, this is all part of it at the end of the day. And people who are still here have now been rewarded with that knowledge. So, you know, it's always worth getting through all of our waffling.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you to it. And yeah,
Nice one, babes.
everyone's been great. So thank you very much. And I'll see you again.
Yay. Cheers, babe. I'll see you soon.
Have a good one. See ya. Bye.
There we go. That was M Series there. He's ace, isn't he? Isn't he lovely? Isn't he lovely, eh? So, hang on, what am I doing there? So let's carry on. I think we all learned something very, very interesting there. Let's get the next one. So yeah, that was Fallon and Lukey G. Not so bad. Next one we've got is Timber Boys. When I'm Stable. Right, 1 second.
Cut my tongue out, I've been caught up like a giant juggernaut. Happy hours, golden showers, on a cruise to freaky land. We can fly a helicopter, nothing left to talk about. Entertain you, celebrate you, I'll be back to frame you when I grow up, I'll be stable. When I grow up, I'll set the table. Table.
Yeah, I really like that. I love the fact that you've just said there in the chat that that your missus has done the vocals for that. I find that so wholesome. I really do. She's got a good voice as well. She has definitely got a good voice. Improvement wise, I think it could be cut down a bit because it's quite long at 7 minutes 30. And arrangement wise, the parts could probably be come down. Instead of every 16, have changes maybe every 8, or if they're every 32, have changes every 16, because it's slightly too long for this style of bounce. It's kind of flat over the vocal, so you could try to change the bass around the vocal. So for example here, so you've got the bass is still staying on that same root note, but here like here in this bit in the breakdown, the bass is changing. So do that bass progression in these bits as well. In these bits, didn't have to be all the way through. Didn't have to be all the way through because the energy is in the keeping it on the root note, obviously, but it will make it sound musically more like it will sound more musically cohesive, if that makes any sense. So it should be quite simple to do. Just copy the bass from your breakdown. So try that out. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Well done. You're going to get a little round of applause for that one. There we go. Right, the next one we've got this is Blur, Song 2, Smarties remix. Here we go.
problem. It's not my problem.
That is Blur Song 2, Smarties remix. What do I have to say on that? I agree with what Rainbow Laces has said there. The vocal could have been a bit drier and more upfront in the mix. Possibly go back and do another mix down or EQing, bringing excuse me, bringing the vocals out a little bit may rectify a lot of those things though. I don't know if you've had this mastered or anything, but it sounds really good. It does sound really good. It sounds very... It could have been the original, if you know what I mean. I like how you've taken the drums from the original as well and whacked them in as well. KMB, yeah, the remix of Girls and Boys, yeah. It's Damon Albarn's voice as well is very, you know, you can't help but kind of get into the groove with it. So not mastered yet. DJ Smarties is in the house. Let me give you a shout out, mate. Not mastered yet. Cool. How long have you been doing this for? Because that's it always surprises me when I ask this question. I think it's great. I think the way to go when you first start making music as well is to make remixes of stuff. I really do. I think it takes a lot of the guesswork out. But yeah, everything was great. The arrangement is really good as well. I like the arrangement of it. Yeah, not really much else to say, really. But it's good, and I'd like to hear more of these. Since 2006, cool. What do you use as a DAW? It's always nice to know, especially with people who've been making music for quite a while. What was that? Things flying in my face. Played around with for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I like it. I do like it. I think it's great. And I wasn't expecting it because I haven't heard this song too for a very long time. So yeah, thank you very much, darling. Thank you for letting us have a listen to it. Next one we're going to be doing is... And when I don't say much, that's a good thing. Like I said, the one thing that I would probably go back and work on is the vocal a little bit. It's drowning a little bit in reverb. Needs to come up a bit and be a bit brighter. And that's all I can really say. I've been in the UK hardcore scene mostly, but exploring other avenues recently. Cool. I think hardcore's quite difficult to make, you know. I really do. I think it's kind of getting on the levels of like drum and bass and stuff. You can't really hide behind the sounds with that genre very much. So yeah, cheers, darling. Okay, next we've got Rofo versus Ginny. One more time for Rofo's theme. Johnny P bootleg mix. Now, apparently, this was made about 20 years ago, this tune. What's Matt Baggy put there? Editing some cheeky fills of OTT auto pack. Ooh, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. Okay, so this tune was made 20 years ago, apparently. So let's have a quick listen to it. I quite like this. I do quite like it. Let's have a listen to it together.
Don't wanna see that I don't appreciate you. I love the little things you do for me. I always think it would be good to be a baby. I wanna try to take a chance with me. I wanna love you tonight and
Like I really, really can't help but love that track. Like, especially knowing that it was made 20 years ago. It was really nice and really well put together. Like, it's been that long that this style was made that it's come back into fashion again. And for that to be 20 years old and, like, it sounds so... Like, if I didn't know it was done 20 years ago, I might have given it more of a harsher critique, but I'm not going to because it is so gay. It is so gay and happy. It really is. I'm not going to critique it at all because we're talking about technology 20 years ago, which was Akai S3000 samplers, which would only sample like 2 seconds of sound. Everything was like on a master and slave. MIDI wasn't very reliable. The drums. Listen to the drums. Oh, come on. And the synth. Boop, 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 boop. I just want to go and get a perm. That's what I want to do. Matt Baggy, thank you very much and welcome to the fam. Oh no, it's been 8 months now. It's been 8 months. Happy anniversary, darling. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me. I know I'm a bit weird, but I appreciate it. I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you. Yeah, I love it. I appreciate that song a lot. So I've enjoyed listening to that. I'm not going to critique it because it was made 20 fucking years ago. Like 20 years ago, I was making shit on Dance EJ. It didn't sound like that. Sounds like a load of 80s tracks pasted together, not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, well, you're picking up on something there. We didn't really have... I mean, they had effects and things like that, but you only had like 8 tracks. You had like 8-track recorders. So you only had 8 different channels of noise that you could use. So there wasn't really the ability to have and add transitions and have, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, they did, but it wasn't really, you know, not to the level that we can now. And automation and things like that wasn't really... automation would have been done by hand. Like you'd have just done it yourself with the synths and stuff. You wouldn't have been able to have like an automation over the master. Oh, I don't know. You might have been able to at the mastering stage, but I don't know. Rainbow Laces says you're weird is the reason I'm here. Yay! Thank you, darling. Yeah, guys, just to let you know as well, I'm going to be DJing for the Techno Festival soon here on Twitch. Do you want to let everyone know, Rainbow Laces, when it is? Because I can't remember right now. I don't even know who I am first thing in the morning a lot of the time. There's a big question mark over a lot of aspects of me as a person, to be quite honest with you. There you go. Oh, that way for you, isn't it? What am I? But yeah, I love that. Cheers, mate. Thank you for sending that one in. Next, we've got Fatutsu Rain. And this is called Rain. It's night time. What did I say? I can't even remember what I said for you to warrant you even telling me it's night time. Were you just telling me? I don't know. It might not be. It's sunny somewhere. All right? It's sunny somewhere. Where's this tune? Hang on. Fatsu Rain. Fatatsu Rain. That's weird. I can't see it, but it's in here. It is in here, but it's not. It's not in my folder. Let me just see if I can find it. Just talk amongst yourselves for a moment, will you? Futatsu. No. Where is it then? Oh, let me just go into my... I'm just going to go into my emails and see if I can find it. It's very strange. Got it. It's a SoundCloud link. Yeah, I really, 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 really like that. It's so chilled, so laid back. I can't say anything that I'd improve on that, but I can certainly say what I liked about it. I really liked the choice of the sounds. I liked the fills, the little drum fills, which gave it a bit of, it just changed up the energy because, you know, when you've got floaty songs like that, you can kind of get into a trance with it. It kind of like brought me out of it and alerted me to the fact that it's the next part of the song in the arrangement. Yeah, I really, really liked it. It was very heartfelt, very wholesome. Yeah, I liked it. I don't think it needed any vocals. Like sometimes with tracks it can seem a bit like there's something missing. There wasn't anything missing here. Yeah, I hope it does well. I don't know how long this person, Alan, has been producing for. He's only got 24 followers on his SoundCloud, guys. I've left you his thingy. I'm leaving it you again. Go and send him a fucking go and send him a follow, because he needs more people following him, because he's very good. Is he here? There he is. Futatsu 83. That's your 6th track. It's your 6th track. Oh, you guys make me fucking sick. Do you know, I'm not even going to say young people, because by 83, I'm guessing that you were born in 83. I was born in 82, so, you know, I think that's amazing. I really do. I think that's fucking brilliant. I'm so pleased for you, because this is obviously where you're supposed to be directing your energy. It really is. Wow, that is sick for your 6th tune. It really is. I'm going to repost that. It's not a private link, is it? It's not a private link. I can repost it. Yeah, I really like that. I want everyone to go and follow him now as well. I'm just posting this on Facebook as well. But this is sick! Exclamation mark. I'm going to put 3 exclamation marks at the end of that as well. Post to Facebook. There we go. Bish bash bosh. Yeah, well, I mean it, mate. I think it's a really, really good tune. It's something that... This is the kind of style that eventually I'll be making myself. I've made some of it, but you got to really think about your sounds, and the space between the sounds as well is very important with this kind of music. It requires a bit more of a delicate touch. So, yeah, I really appreciate that. So next we have got... Well done again, mate. Let me give you a round of applause as well. Woo! Really appreciate you sending that in, because it was really nice to hear that. I appreciate good music like that. I really do. Talking of good music, we have a track here by Mikey Dickens as well. So this is the next one I'm going to be listening to. This is called The Vatican. He sent me 3 tracks. This is the one that I like the most. So they were all pretty good though, to be fair.
All those moments will be lost in time. Like tears. Like tears in the rain. Like tears in the rain. moments will be lost in time. Like tears in the rain.
I really like that. I really like it. I love the vocal. It's not as often that you hear a male vocal, especially in trance, and don't often seem to work as well. Or the belief is that they don't seem to work as well. But when you get it right, you get it right. And I like that. It sounded like it was like Brian Cox or someone like that. But yeah, I really like that. Hollywood, yes, exactly. People born in July and August are the best people in the whole world. Ever. Times 10,000. If destroyed, still true. Times infinity. So there. I wouldn't change anything with this. Like I said, I loved the vocal. I liked what Rainbow Laces said about tears in the rave. Like, that would be a good play on words to call it tears in the rave instead of tears in the rain. I really liked that when I saw that you'd put that. You're all on about birthdays now, aren't you? I've put you all off. Okay, I'll just be sensible and stick to what we're supposed to be ready well doing here, darlings. Honestly, I'm so sorry, Mikey Dickens, for these people in the chat who aren't taking what you're saying. Look, it's all right. You can't fix stupid. Yeah, I really liked it. In fact, I'll probably play this in my banging trance sets. So thank you very much, Mikey Dickens, for handing this one in, because I really liked it. Nothing wrong with stupid. Yeah, well, you would say that, wouldn't you? Dick Chard. Yes! Ow! I've just hurt myself by slapping my leg. Ow! Oh, that was instant karma then. I didn't even know I was that strong. Ow. Okay. God, you lot are so distracting. Oh my God, Muriel. Okay, so next we've got Club Culture Falling Stars remix DJ Serenity. I'm not sure. I think this is DJ Serenity's done a remix of Club Culture Falling Stars. That's how it is. Okay, cool. So let's put this one on. that was Club Culture Falling Stars DJ Serenity remix. I liked a lot of the elements in this. I like the clean sound of all of the parts as well. I think the only thing it could possibly benefit from is a different arrangement, maybe slightly less, maybe shortening the different arrangement sections a little bit, or even let me just go. I need to have another listen to this because there's quite a lot of things happening. Yeah, so this effect of the falling in the semitones coming down, that's a really good effect, and I love that effect in the breakdown, because usually we have the rises going up, and I think that it sounds quite good, especially with the repeating mantra of the no. Like that mantra staying on that note and then that coming down is the same effect as having a riser. That's a really, really good effect. I really appreciated that bit. And then we go into this bit. See that? We've got a whole section. There's a whole section here. So what I would do now, I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna be cutting out all the section from 2:44 to 3:41. So there's a whole minute here. So what I would do is have it like this. So this is how it goes originally. We've got, and then it goes into, it just goes into a kick there. Now I think it should go. That part, which is about a minute further on. So, or what you could do is just add a few more of the elements in when that drops there. Just bringing it back in with just the kick and a bit of the percussion isn't enough. So theatres, there isn't a cue, sweetheart. It will be next week, because I have to listen to your music first and make sure that it is of a standard which is listenable for everyone. And also I wouldn't want to set you up for a fall and have you put something out there that you may not want people to hear straight away. Not saying that you're not good at what you do or anything like that. It's just it's a safety measure for me to make this enjoyable for everyone listening as well. So yeah, if you just send it to amberdpromo@gmail.com, I will have a listen to it for next week. If it doesn't get on, you will get a message from me, an email back explaining why, and I will also give you lots of helpful feedback as to what to improve to make it listenable. So if it's listenable, obviously it will get on because it's a demo drop, so we're helping people to get better at production, but it has to be at a certain level in order for me to warrant putting it on anyway. Otherwise people are just going to get bored of listening. So, but there you go. But yeah, if you send it over, and you will always know whether your track's on or not, because I will always let you know by messaging and replying back to your email. Breakbeat over the bass line. Yes, mate. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. But yeah, all in all, I really liked this. It was a nice track to listen to. If I heard this in a club, I would be dancing to it. You know, I really would be dancing to it. So, but yeah, I loved it. So thank you very much, darling, for sending that in. I know who DJ Serenity is as well. She's amazing. She usually does quite harder stuff as well. So it's nice to see something different from her. So next we've got Masquerade from Fort Turner, Fellsview Cuttom. I don't know what that means. It might be lost in translation to me, But I remember what tune this is. Okay, this is something really different. So you guys see what you think to this one. I quite enjoyed listening to this.
Yo. Head on tour, pedal this new faith called Faith No More. Cheese gets thrown off his phone, munch trash and a new law. Leagues long season, teams in striker sites to even score. Dragons bees will hunt you down and peck you under a griffin's claw. Universal fine and decker, what thy pecker seeks. Universal treasure, Bo Peep, need over profile meeks. Angel Vestal, under sheets, talk and grace, tapping cheeks. Even those from outs by Alpine still be liking oaks and teaks. Off an oyster dripping, bread that be plugging leads. Courts rife with injustice, we slang from the southern streets. When a land speeds on heating, signs of times mountain peaks. A guilt gripping treasonous and the hawks and fly out with our beaks. Yo. From those times to this masquerade from when the wearing of a face mask was gangster. From those times to this masquerade from when the wearing of a face mask was gangster. From those times to this masquerade from when the wearing of a face mask was gangsterade. From those times to this masquerade from when the wearing of a face mask was gangster. Yo.
Yeah, I really like that. It's not something that I've normally listened to. However, I do listen to quite a bit of rap. I watch a lot of Don't Flop and things like that on YouTube. I appreciate a good lyric. I would have to listen to that a couple of times to hear exactly what was being said within the lyrics. I'm so glad it's not mumble rap. Like, it's nice to see that, like, I'm presuming this is a young person. I am presuming here, but I like the fact that there is a message in this, the masquerade, you know, about when wearing masks was gangster. Like, I've only heard this track now all the way through this once, but it's got a message to it. And that's always a good thing, especially in a time where a lot of us are getting very stressed out. And music is definitely our happy place to be able to express ourselves. And this is a brilliant way of doing it. I really, really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed it. K&B's undecided. Yeah, you'll be undecided because it's not probably a type of music that you're used to, or like from a production point of view as well. That vocal was treated really nicely. I liked the double vocals here.
From when the wearing of a face mask was gangster. From those times to this masquerade. From when the wearing of a face mask was gangster. From those times to this masquerade. From when the wearing of a face mask was gangster.
And then dropping it down an octave as well on that layer as well to give it.
From those times to this masquerade. From when
sounds like it is anyway.
The wearing of a face mask was gang.
I mean, that's a good trick to do as well if you double layering a vocal, is just to take one of them out by a few cents. Kind of detuning it a little bit. That gives it a nice effect. And I really, really like that. Oh, I live a lot of grime. Okay, well, I appreciated this on the level of lyricism. Is that a word? And also on the production of the vocal. Vocal production is a whole other ball game as well. Like, it's not easy to record a good vocal and then process it unless you know what you're doing. I also appreciate the yo.
Yo.
I fucking love that. Yo. Like, I'm going to remember this tune. I'm going to remember it. You know? And that's great. It's so simple. Like, the backing track to it is just one of those, it's one of those loops. for spitting bars.
Head on tour, peddle this new faith called Faith No More. Cheese gets thrown off his phone, munch trash and a new law. Leagues long season, teams in striker sights to even score. Dragons bees will hunt you down and peck you under a griffin's claw.
There it is, Griffin's Claw. Like, there is a lot of things being said here which are very meaningful. I don't know if anyone's listened to a guy called Richie Knight on YouTube. He dissects a lot of big rappers. And like he would love to hear something like this.
Head on tour, peddle this new faith called Faith No More. Cheese gets
peddle this new faith called Faith No More. Like the way that he's doing his wordplay is wonderful.
thrown off his phone, munch trash and a new law. Leagues long season, teams in striker sights to even score. Dragons bees will hunt you down and peck you under a griffin's claw.
Yes, like this is something which you have to have good vocal processing so you can hear everything that's going on in this. I love it. 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 So, is he in the chat? Is this person in the chat? I don't know.
Universal fine and decker, what die pecker seeks. Universal treasure, Bo Peep, need over profile meeks. Angel Vestal, under sheets, talk and grace, tapping cheeks. Even those from outs by Alpine still be liking oaks and teaks. Off an oyster dripping, bread that be plugging leads. Courts rife with injustice, we slang from the suffering streets.
Yeah, he's talking about courts being rife with injustice. You know, there's a lot of pain that's being transmuted within this. And I love that. I love music with intention. I love music that's got some fucking meaning behind it. And this has got some meaning behind it. And this person will have... These are the kinds of people who you can be safe around. Because, quite frankly, they're sorting out their shit by processing it in a creative way. So, there you go. Really liked it. I thought that was wonderful. So, next up we've got... Revive Me, Tony Perkins. It isn't the Rough Master now because I got given the finished one. And I will play the finished one because it's in here now. Is it? Where's it gone? There it is. The John Doe Master. Okie dokie. Here we go. So that's Tony Perkins, Revive Me. A couple of things that I would improve on this that I need to say before I forget. The breakdown's too long. Definitely the breakdown's too long. And the second half of this track, I mean, the track's nearly 8 minutes long, so it could do with being a bit shorter. Loved the bird noises, by the way. Loved that. The second breakdown I felt was much more interesting than this one. You got 3 breakdowns actually. So I would probably keep the pre-breakdown, the small one that you've got, at 1 minute 50. And then you've got this really long breakdown. That can be shortened down by at least 16 bars because the first part of it wraps around twice. And then does it again. Where you just opened up that second lead or the another lead layer. So one of those sections can go. So that takes up 16 bars. Or I would also include this second breakdown which you've got here. I'd have that on your first pre-breakdown, the first small one at 1 minute 50. I'd have that second one first because it's really good and it keeps the interest. The one that you've got there already, it's not as interesting. It's not as interesting. And that pattern you've got there isn't anywhere else in the track, so it doesn't need to be in there. I'd get rid of that altogether. Apart from that, it's great. Sorry, Tony. I mean it helpfully. 8 minutes is pushing it. Like, really need to bring this down in time-wise. Really do. But I know you can do it. I know you've got it in you to be able to do it, mate. The vocal isn't necessarily out of tune. Now, I think, like, on these bits it's fine. But what it is the riff, the melody is it gets quite lost at parts. That's good. Like, I love that. It's when it does this fancy bit at the end. It doesn't work, that last bit. It was just a bit too different. Like, you were going out of that scale. It wasn't working with your bass progression, basically. So just don't do that. Just have it repeating. If you need to have some kind of change, have a nice filter sweep or introduce a bit of phase or something over it or something like that. But yeah. These are all good things that you can learn something from, though, and make it sound club-worthy, if you will. So, DJ Serenity, you're so welcome. I loved it, darling. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant. You'll be able to watch it back anyway and see what we said, but I really liked that. I really, really did. I thought it was amazing. But yeah, thank you very much, Tony, for letting us dissect your tune there. Like, as far as the sounds are concerned and your mixing and levels and things like that, it's brilliant. Like, all you need to do now is just work on the arrangement. And a really, really good way of doing that very quickly is just have a reference track in your playlist. Find a track that you really like, a trance tune similar to this, and have it, and make sure you time stretch it so it and clip it to the first beat of the bar. So it's in and snap to grid in your playlist when you're working on your project. And just look at where the breakdowns are and make a label. Whatever door you're in, you'll be able to do something like that. And just see where the breakdowns are. See how the arrangement is arranged. And try doing a version of this tune using the arrangement from a pre-confirmed, this is a good track, trance tune. And see what you think. So yeah, thank you, darling. And the last one that we've got is, this is a brilliant tune. This is coming out on Untidy Basics. This is UK Gold, Because the House Gets Warm, Raucous remix. This has been a really long one tonight. 3.5 hours this has been. Doesn't seem like it though. Right then, let's have a listen to this one. You ready?
I'm on the go. Bam. know that I will go to the house at form. Damn, I'm on the go, so I'll make the whole crowd daze and rock the show and let you know that I will go to the house at form. Damn, I'm on the go, so I'll make the whole crowd daze and rock the show and let you know that I will go to the house at form. Damn, 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 to the house at form. I'm on the go, so I'll make the whole crowd daze and rock the show, show it down.
Absolutely love that. I mean, I love the untidy, groovy hard house. I play a lot of it in my sets, as you'll know. Yeah, I really, really love that. There's nothing I can add apart from the fact that it's really nice seeing Chris O'Rourke, aka Raucus, doing some stuff, because I do play quite a bit of his style of music. I love it. He's been doing it for quite a while. Yeah, exactly, Matt. Can't really critique this, but it was just a joy to listen to, and it was a really nice way to finish this episode of Demo Drop. And yeah, it's really nice to see a few new faces in here. And yeah, like I say, if you want to put your track in to be considered for next week, then all you need to do is I know it's a little bit like it's difficult when you've only just been in here for the first time, and yeah, forgive me because I forget that there'll be new people in here. So if you're new, all you need to do is send your demo to amberdpromo@gmail.com. Please make sure you head your email demo drop so I know that it's for the demo drop, and make sure any files that you send me, an MP3 or a WAV, make sure you label it correctly. So I need the artist name, very important, and I need the title of your track, because that's what gets put up here. So, you know, if you've got this one final V2, I'm not going to know what you want me to call you. So make sure that it's all labeled correctly, and SoundCloud links are absolutely fine as well. So yeah, guys, this has been a very extra long one, but we've all learned something today. We really have. Like, it was really nice having Martin on earlier, M Series, showing us a few of his ways of working in the studio. So I'm really, really happy. I've had such a great time with you guys. So I'm going to go and get to bed now, because I've got school in the morning. I've got uni first thing. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to be raiding you all into Dev-N6. She's amazing. She's going to look after you now. She'll be playing some amazing techno and house, I should imagine. So I will see you soon. Love you.